All right, so here we go, my friends. You've got your piece of paper and you've got your pencil. The first thing we're going to do is fold our paper. Although this time we're not going to fold it like we normally do in class, like a hot dog and hamburger. This time we're folding it into thirds. Symmetry is not so important in this particular lesson, but we need to learn a few things about foreground, midground, and background. And the way we're going to do this is by drawing all three in our picture, or incorporating all three into our picture. So we're going to fold our paper into thirds as closely as possible and unfold. Once we've got that done, we've got three sections. We've got above this line here, we've got the center of our paper, and we've got the foreground. So we pretty much have the foreground, the midground, and then things in the background will go up here at the top of our paper. Okay, so we divided into essentially foreground, midground, and background. Okay, and those definitions are listed in your written instructions for the lesson. So refer back to those. You can pause the video now and refer back to those if necessary. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is draw our foreground line. Okay, so we're going to use the fold that's there, and we're just going to draw straight across our paper. Okay, pretty easy, right? The next step is to draw the road that's going up to our house. Okay, so the way we do that, and the way that we create the length of our road and to make it look long, is actually by creating a wider space up here. Okay, so where our road starts at the bottom of our paper, it's going to be wider. And as we go up here to our foreground line, our road is going to get narrower. Okay, so let's start with our first line. We're going to space these out. Make two little marks on your paper. Spaced out, that looks like it's about 4 inches or so. Okay, not super important, the length between those lines, but so the thing is, we want to go up this way. Okay, and notice it's not a completely straight line. It's a dirt road. Okay, dirt roads are not usually completely straight like a paved road would be. All right, so our starting point here at the bottom of our paper, okay, so this is for the part of the road that's closest to us, is going to start here, and as we go up toward the top part of our road, notice how I get more narrow. Okay, so there we go with that, and we can even kind of come in a little bit more, flare in a little more with our road to make it a little more interesting. Yeah, I think I like that more. Okay, so let's erase that old line there. You may be perfectly, completely satisfied with the first road that you drew, and that's fine. You can leave it. I just wanted to change mine a little bit. I'm drawing pretty lightly so that I can erase easily too. Remember that. All right, so I've got my foreground line. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a tree. I'm going to draw a tree all the way on the left-hand side of my paper. Okay, I want to come in a little bit for my trunk. My trunk is really just two lines that go straight up and down. Pretty much straight up and down, maybe flare out a little bit at the bottom. Okay, this is more of a sort of a folk art look, not a realistic looking tree. And then we're going to draw a great big oval. Okay, so start here, and this is our this is our mid-ground line right here. This line here separates our mid-ground from our background. But we're not going to draw that line yet. Okay, we're going to use it to draw our tree though. Our tree is going to extend above that mid-ground line just a little bit. It's going to come down and we're going to complete our oval down here at the bottom. And there's our first tree. All right, the next thing we're going to do is draw our house. So our house is going to be about the same height as our tree. This is a great big mature tree. It's been there for a long time. Our house is more like a tiny cottage. Okay, so we're going to keep it in perspective with that tree. It's tiny, it's cute. Okay, so we draw a line straight up and then we draw a little bit of a line on that diagonal there. And we come down, creating a V. See what we're doing there? Okay, then we have another straight line down. That's the side of our house. Okay, then we're going to come across the top here to create our roof. It's a tiny little cottage, remember that. Okay, and we're going to come down. Now, our line from here is going to match the diagonal that we have here. Remember how we did that last week with Baby Yoda? Our diagonal lines match when we were drawing his sleeves and etc. Okay, we're going to come across only down to the bottom of our roof line. So we have the top of our roof line here and the bottom of our roof line here. And then we're going to come straight down with the side of our house. Now we've got our little structure, our little cabin or cottage. Okay, and let's draw a little window here. You can add some details in there too if you'd like. And then we've got a door. You can add some windows on this side of the house too if you would like, or just leave it like that. It's up to you. And the last thing we need to do in our midground is draw our other tree. Okay, so this tree is not going to be totally 100% on the paper because I've kind of run out of room. So what I'm going to do is draw my trunk. My trunk is going to be on the paper. Okay, it's 100% on my paper. However, my big oval, my tree is going to be about the same height as this one. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller. Okay, but we're going to come around. And that other half of my tree is going to be off the page, and that's okay. That is perfectly fine. And there it is. There's my other tree. So now I have my midground done. Okay, now I'm going to draw that midground line that we talked about. Remember that between this line that goes across here, we have our midground on the bottom, and we have our background in the back on the top. Okay, so our line's going to go across, and remember, we're not going through our trees. We're working around our trees. Okay. This is called our horizon line. Okay, our horizon line. So in between here and here, again, is our midground. This is all grass. Back here, we're going to draw some mountains, a cloud, and then we're going to leave some room for some nice, great big sky. Okay, so for our mountain, going to start about here. First mountain, more like a hill, I guess. I'm going to come down here. There's the first one. Okay, and then the second hill, right there. It's a little bit smaller. There we go. We've got some hills. And now, let's draw a cloud up here. Let's draw a cloud right off here to the side. And there we go. And there's our cloud. Just one cloud in the sky. And that's it. So we've got our drawing done. The next step for you to do is to outline all your pencil marks with your marker. There's a picture in the written instructions that will show you exactly how I need you to do it. Okay, and then the last step is to color it in. And you can color it in with markers, you can color it in with crayons or with colored pencil. If you are lucky enough to have watercolor paper at home, okay, which is a thicker paper, and you have watercolors at home, you may do your sketch on watercolor paper and then paint it in with your watercolors. Okay, if you try to paint on this kind of copy paper, what's going to happen is that your paper will get too soggy and it's not going to work so well. You're welcome to try it, but you've worked so hard on this sketch that I would not risk it if I were you. I would just use my marker. Remember, outline everything you've done, go over everything you've done with your black marker, and then color it in. Once you're done, don't forget to take a picture of what you've done and email it to me. I hope you have a lot of fun with this assignment. It is a very cute kind of folk art landscape, and I think you'll create some really amazing pictures for your first attempt at drawing with perspective. Alrighty, thank you guys. See you next week. Bye-bye.